All right, cool. This is David Olds, and I am here today with Stephen Kaiser. Stephen, dude, I wanted to bring you on today and talk to you just a little bit because you have one of the biggest closings that our transactions company has ever done for a client. And I wanted to bring you on and kind of get a little case study and see how you did it and tell us all about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, really, it was all my team. They
Yeah,
did the whole thing. So that was probably my favorite part about it. But it was a PPC lead came through. We do novations or the retail buyer program like Sean Terry and others
right.
call it. The lead came in. My sales rep called her. She negotiated a price. I actually felt the price that she had originally was a little too high. So we cut her down another 75,000 and got it
Love the 74.
contracted. Yeah.
What type of property was it?
So it was no zoning, which
Okay,
I think was the magic formula here for this one. It was a single family house that had been converted into a restaurant, but there was no zoning.
really? That's
And
interesting.
so, we had offers that came in anywhere from 500 up to over 800,000. And I think different people had different strategies for it. Some people were going to make it commercial. Some people were going to keep it residential. And I think the commercial factor is what ended up making it the spread that it was.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your team before we go too much further. Like, obviously, you're like me. You have a lot of amazing people that work for you, but tell us a little bit about what you've built.
Yeah, so I mean, my team's pretty small and lean right now. I've got two senior sales reps. I just hired two VA sales reps, or kind of in a junior role, getting up to speed, doing some lead follow-ups and stuff like that until they're ready to get some new leads thrown at them. My girlfriend Taylor, she's the dispo queen. She's the
Really?
one that lists everything. She
Hmm.
loves easy REI. Her and Shelly and Hannah are talking all the time. And then I've got my two senior reps, my all-star Joe. He's been with me the longest. He was the first hire I made as
Uh-huh.
far as a sales rep. And then I have an admin that kind of does all the KPIs, keep it up with all the spreadsheets and stuff like that.
Yeah. How long have you been doing real estate?
I've been in real estate since 2015,
Oh,
but
wow. It's a long time.
wholesaling, I didn't start this company until 2020, so the
Oh,
middle
okay.
of COVID.
Yeah. What were you doing in real estate before wholesaling?
I was a licensed realtor for a while.
Oh,
That everybody thinks you got to get your real estate license to get into real estate.
yeah.
So I figured out that wasn't for me, got into new construction for a little while,
Oh,
and
wow.
then just kind of got burnt out. Took a trip across the country and came back and decided I was going to start wholesaling and build something to pump out cash.
Wow. Well, you definitely have been pumping out cash. That's for sure. One great thing about our company is we can definitely see who the real players are and who's full of as I would say. And, you definitely knocked it out of the park. So when the lead came in, did your acquisitions people, because this would probably be something my team would be like, well, I don't know what we're going to do with it. It's kind of weird zoning, house, restaurant. Like, what were
Yeah.
they thinking they were going to do with it?
Yeah,
Like,
so I mean, we use this calculator that we got from Sean Terry, and we kind
sounds
of just
amazing.
plugged the numbers in that, and it worked at the price that we acquired it for, even at a list price of 450.
Yeah.
So even if we were to just sell it as a single family, it worked. But
Mhm.
my sales rep she was looking at the zoning. She said the seller said it's no zoning. I'm like, I don't really know what that means. Call the city and just
Yeah.
find out if that's real or not. And if that is the case, then there may be some big upside here.
Mhm.
And so she kind of had this feeling in her stomach. She was like, I think we could list this for a lot more. I was like, well, let's just keep listing it low to get a lot of eyeballs on it. And then if it's worth that, it'll get bidded up. And
Right.
that's what happened. So, I mean, the two biggest deals that we've done have all been commercial, and they've all been those properties that you look at and you're like, I don't really know what I'm going to do with this, but you just take a chance on it and it ends
Yeah.
up being a home run.
So not commercial in like the apartment buildings, but just in how they were kind of used or zoned, something like that.
This one was the zoning. Last year we did one. It was a 60,000 square foot
Oh, wow.
warehouse that was just holes all in. I mean, it was homeless camp living in it, but we got it for 50 grand and sold it for 260. So it was just
So
those types of deals.
that's interesting because I know a lot of wholesalers, especially newer ones, would just shy away from those types of things because they don't know how to evaluate it. They just don't understand, and it's like the scary other thing because
Yeah.
easy stuff to do with single family houses.
That buy low, sell high.
That's it, right? That's what I say all the time. Like,
Yeah.
listen, I can explain what we do to a third grader. We literally
Yeah.
sell low, we sell high. It is not that complicated. It's people that complicate it. So, Stephen, on this deal, what was your contract one?
We got it for 368, I believe.
And then what did you list it at?
We listed it at 415, either 415 or 450. You can tell how much I'm up to speed on these things.
Dude, I'm with you. When my team starts talking about closings and
Yeah.
'cause I'm so removed because plus I have EZ like you do, right? We're
Yeah.
clients. just like them. Like I have no idea sometimes until I'm happen to look at my account and like, oh, there was a deposit today. That's so amazing.
Yeah.
So you listed it for less than 100,000 over your contract price. What happened?
Literally immediately, Taylor's phone was just melting. It was probably 30, 40, 50 agents within the first 24, 48 hours that wanted to go see it. People were lining up outside the property without even calling. I mean, they were just, it was a frenzy.
Wow.
And the first day we got an offer. Of course, we got an offer at asking price.
Right.
But we also got one at 500, 515, somewhere around there. And we're like, oh, wow,
this is
pretty
cool.
good deal.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Might
so
make some money here.
we're talking about it. Taylor's all excited. The next day we wake up, we have an offer for a little over 600.
That
That's
escalated
interesting.
quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next day there's one for a little over 700. And then we're just like, is this real? Is this really happening right now?
Right.
And then about 4 dadays later, we had one come in around 870, 860, something like that. And it's like, let's just go ahead and jump on this.
Let's take this one. You don't want to let it go too long. I mean, so what was it that the buyer saw that you guys didn't see? Was it location? What was it that had them all excited?
I really think it was the no zoning.
Yeah.
But in another similar scenario from the last big deal we did, they were all 1031 exchanges. And so I don't know what factor that played into it, but he was insanely higher than all the other offers. I think it had something to do with the no zoning. It was 30, 45 minutes outside of Austin. Okay. So the location wasn't bad, major street. I'm not sure what his plans are for it. Maybe he was just looking to park some money somewhere to not have to pay any taxes, but I couldn't tell you what his plans are with it.
So was the building like a functional restaurant where he could just open it up, or is it something?
It was not in bad shape. You're talking maybe a level 1 just to get things up and going. Put some equipment in there, but I mean, the building was fine. As far, it looked like it was vacant. It looked like it hadn't been occupied in a while, but as far as some of the other stuff you see, it was fairly good condition.
Man, that's absolutely amazing. Well, the reason I ask is we do a lot of deal reviews in our company, especially on the deals that go bad, right? We always want to look back and say, okay, what didn't we know? What did we miss? What can we train on? But also on the big deals like this, you want to look back and go, okay, what do our buyers see so that we can go out and find some more of this stuff?
Yeah. I really think it's the no zoning.
Yeah. So that might be something worth targeting if you were going to do some direct.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool. So tell me about the other types of deals you're doing. Are you guys like virtual, nationwide? Tell me about what you're doing.
Yeah, we're 100% virtual. We were nationwide in like 40, 50 states. And then we realized really quickly that there's a lot of garbage out there.
So
we've slowly narrowed it down basically to the Southeast, the West Coast, Texas, and Colorado, I think. And then New Mexico and Arizona. Really about 13 to 15 states at this point. We list everything. We'll do assignments, but they all come from buyers off the MLS.
Right.
A lot of flat fee listings. That's really our model right now. Just contract. Because we can obviously you can pay a little higher if you list it and you do the novation. So that's kind of what we've been doing. And I mean, with the 2 reps that I have that are going, they're getting anywhere from 10 to 12 contracts a month.
Nice. What's your PPC spend?
Right now, I'm only doing 400 a day. I just upped it to 600, so not too much.
Yeah, we've bounced between 400 and 600. We do PPC, and then I'm not the tech guy, and there's a pixel, and we redirect them from Facebook, and there's some stuff that they do.
Do you have success with Facebook marketing? Because I've tried it, and it
not
was
a ton.
So
I'll be honest
awful.
with you. It's maybe 10% of the deals. So, I put a far less amount on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. It's definitely not as much. So, well, cool. So how many deals a month are you guys doing now?
I would say December, we did around 6 or 7. January, we only did 1. This month, we'll do 5 or 6.
Wow.
We'll see what March and April have in store for us.
I do feel like the market, it was a little tough last year, even in our company. We probably lost money September, October, November.
Yeah.
A little bit of an adjustment. And, combined with that, we had restructured our acquisitions team. So as the market was shifting, we were bringing in some new people. So that was a struggle. But I feel like they really hit their stride in November, getting the right properties under contract. And then December was a really good month for us. January was pretty good. This month will be very good. Not as good as 474, but it will still be good. So yeah, I feel like we're starting to stabilize a little bit.
We dealt with the same thing kind of around September, November, October, that switch that happened in the market.
Yeah.
And my whole sales staff was new. I was just training them, trying to get them up and going. So none of my sales reps are a full year in yet. And they're starting to get comfortable on the phones. They're starting to know the questions and looking for pain instead of focusing on the house, all these, simple things that we all know, but they're doing good. I'm proud of all of them, and I'm excited to keep scaling and seeing what we can do here.
Nice. And you haven't been with us with EZ for that long, right?
No, I think we came on in either late November or early December. It hasn't been too long.
Who was doing all the transaction stuff before that?
Taylor.
So she's the
Yeah.
happiest person ever to not be dealing with all of that.
Yeah, because we had a lot of direct mail, tax delinquent, just hairy deals that we were, affidavits and family trees and all this stuff. So she's doing a lot better now. She's basically just a listing specialist at this point.
All right. Oh man, I just wanted to find out about your deal. I was just excited to hear about it yesterday. And then I made that post and like it just people were messaging me like, what was the deal? I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to talk to him tomorrow. I'm going to find out. So no, I appreciate you coming on for just a couple minutes and telling us about it. And I think that's, it's certainly inspiring for other investors to see that these types of deals are happening in today's market because there's so much doom and gloom out there and everybody, it's the end of the fucking world. But, I spent the last 13 days across the country going to events and I'm hearing the same types of stories, right? I'm hearing, real estate is stabilized. Buyers are like, okay, this is the new normal. This is what we're doing. Let's get back to business. And lenders are getting back into a spot where they can be a little bit more reasonable and loosen up the purse strings. So I think it's good. I think we're going to have a great year. And, we're excited to, certainly with you guys, work with you and watch you grow and scale it up this year.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that.
Cool, man. Awesome. I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, man.
You bet.